And Garcia able to gain a few yards there, but not enough for a first down.
Yeah, you'd like to see those 6 yards come on first down. And again, it's a lot easier to run the ball when the team isn't expecting it. And on a 1st and 10, teams usually, especially the way that Eureka's ran their offense so far today, they've been opening their drives with runs. So they're expecting it. So yeah, you can rip off 5-6 yards on 3rd down, but at the end of the day, it's a 4th and 13, you got to rely on your punter again.
Yep.
Who had a great half, mind you. Had 2 down inside the 20 and should have been a 3rd.
There's the kick. And this one's dropped. And that is TJ Brown, who's unable to come up with that one and is taken down.
Greenville did recover it, just to clarify.
Yeah.
Greenville has it still, but yeah, like we said in the first half, there was that punt late in the half where they fielded it, probably shouldn't have, and that's the and again, punt return is very, and I've said this about every position today, I feel bad. It's hard. Football's a very hard sport, to say that, but deciding whether or not to go for it as a punt returner is very difficult, and a lot of times you see those fumbles when the guys are extending their arms, and that was exactly what we saw there. Fortunate enough to get the bounce and get it back on it.
And the Panthers have been very aggressive all game, so it hasn't been a huge surprise to just see them kind of take that risk. But they have had to pay for it a few times now as Lynch hands it off. And a big pile down there. He's still going. Finally taken down.
Yeah, you got to wonder if that was... the Red Devils defense has been out there for a while.
Yeah.
Say that.
Yeah.
And that might be some tired legs, and there might be some more room up the middle throughout this second half for the Greenville offense.
Lynch, another handoff, finding some space and finally taken down.
Number 3, Adrian hitting on the...
But yeah, as you said, maybe the Red Devils starting to tire out here in the second half. We haven't seen that a lot from this Panthers team so far. And it looks like another Red Devils player is down on the field.
That is, I think it's Brenton Potts. Brett Potts, excuse me. But yeah, that would be a big loss there on the linebacking court. He's been a force early on in the season, but able to get off the field under his own power at least.
And, it's just not good. That's the 3rd time tonight that we have seen a Red Devils player down, trying to get something worked out. Looks like his leg, but we will continue play. It is 1st and 10 at the 43-yard line. Panthers ready to go. There's a snap. Lynch with the fake handoff spins down the field, and he finds some room before being taken down.
A nice spin move. Got himself created. It looks like Potts is cramping, and again, it's a very humid night tonight. I'm surprised this is the first guy that's gone down with cramps, and unfortunately probably won't be the last. Keep pounding fluids there on the sideline.
It's 2nd and 6 for Greenville from the 47-yard line.
Lynch, another fake handoff, throws it down the field, finding some room, and taken down.
Hanson Johnson's pretty fired up after that one. Shocker. Hanson Johnson being fired up. He loves football.
Yes, he does.
But he does have to come off for a play because his helmet came off, so that might be part of the...
Number 14, Hanson Johnson on the tackle.
He's pretty worked up on the sideline.
And, you'd love to see the energy from this team, but you just hope that they kind of fuel it towards their offensive side. I mean, we've seen it all night. The defense has been really great. As the Red Devils...
Number 44!
Taken down.
Brent Potts, the first man on the backfield!
How about that? Brent Potts right back out there.
And that'll be a loss, a huge loss for this Panthers team.
Yeah, holy cow, that's a 8-yard loss there. That's massive, especially a long second down here. And again, that's kind of the nice thing about cramps and the humidity is you only miss a couple of plays and you get back out there and be right back to normal. So great play there from Brent Potts to get back out. Hanson Johnson also back on the field after having to come out for the helmet coming off.
Here's a snap. Lynch looking down, throws, and nearly picked off.
Number 34, Brent Potts on the pass breakup to bring up third down.
Potts really starting to show out in this third quarter, and
It'll be third and 18 for Greenville.
That's another instance, though, right there is another missed turnover. So, yeah, you get the PBU. It looks nice at the end of the season on the stat sheet, but that is one you absolutely want to have as an INT. And Brett Potts, though, to his credit, did a fantastic job working that. Read the quarterback's eyes, was in the right position, just unfortunately couldn't come up with the ball.
yeah, like you said, he tracked it down all the way. Able to make it third and 18. Lynch stepping back, fires down the field and way over the head of two Red Devils defenders. So that'll be fourth down, and the Red Devils are going to get the ball back.
Yeah, it was Darian Rogers and Derek Payton Jr. in on the pressure there. Lynch did not have enough time to set his feet and fire that with accuracy. Again, I feel like a broken record, and they always say broken clocks right twice a day. Eureka's defense comes through again.
Yep, exactly. And, you know, although it is something that we have to keep highlighting, it's because it's true. And that ball was nearly overthrown there.
Ooh, close. About hit a Red Devil right there. He didn't know where the ball was. Orlando Thompson, fortunately able to get out of the way. But that is the danger with those late. So the high snap, the punter isn't completely there with the timing. And that's where your return team almost gets screwed because they're not looking for the ball at the right time, right? And fortunately, they don't see that. You know, we didn't touch the ball, thankfully, and Red Devils are gonna be all right.
Yeah, and the Panthers have been on key so far.
Unsportsmanlike conduct against Eureka. Move the ball back 15 yards.
Unsportsmanlike conduct on the Red Devils. Goes on Hanson Johnson.
Panthers have been on key so far with their punts, making the Red Devils really work for their gaining of yards, but the Red Devils pushed back 15 yards here after that unsportsmanlike conduct call. And they'll be at the 14-yard line as this one's handed off, and not much of a gain there.
Number 20.
We always talk about Hanson Johnson as an energy guy, and that is rightfully so, but unfortunately, he loves the game. He loves the game to a fault, in a sense, and that right there, you know, I read back the play there, and he gets a little extracurriculars going on after the play, and you got to take some of the passion out and save it for the next play, because 15-yard penalty really hurts your offense right now.
Yeah, and there's never anything wrong with showing energy when you're out on that field, but when it tends to cost your team that much, it normally is an issue.
Angel Garcia on the carry for Eureka.
Garcia with another carry. He's taken down.
Out to the 21-yard line.
Garcia had 13 carries in that first half, so plenty of work. And I know for me when I'm playing college football, if my running back see 13 carries in the first half, his wear and tear is pretty high. So yeah. I imagine we're going to see some Makari Moss worked in here well, maybe even some Crowder as well.
So it'll be 3rd and 3 at the 21-yard line. Red Devils looking to get another first down. Here's the snap. And he finds an open receiver who's finally taken down. A little bit past the 30.
Pass is caught by number 20.
That's Silvano Martinez. And again, that's that play they ran earlier in the second quarter when Tollett first came in. It's getting him out of the pocket. Martinez wide open there. Easy throw. Gives your confidence up as a quarterback. Gives everybody a boost. Good first down.
And a great job by Tollett there to track Martinez through the middle of the field and find him at the end.
Chain gang wasn't moving there. I was like, hold on, did I just hallucinate that entire first down there? We're good. It was real. It was real.
Let's see what Tollett decides to do here. Ball snapped and he hands it off, but it looks like Garcia taken down very quickly.
Yeah, it's getting a little formulaic, and that is not what you want as an offense, obviously. But they are going to have to start throwing a little bit more on first and second down, and that's where an RPO is so big. We see Max Lynch run it all the time with Greenville, is give your quarterback the opportunity to run, hand off, or throw the ball at 3 different kinds of plays in one. And they're going to have to show Greenville something different as an offense.
Yeah, and I truly do believe that Tillett is very capable of going very far down the field. And we talked about earlier, he's one of the shorter guys, but he still is able to find his receivers, and that shouldn't be an issue for him.
That's a good gain there, but it is going to be a 3rd and long. Shorter than I thought it was, actually. We had the odd optical illusion, right? So we're just left of the 50, with the team working from right to left. So it kind of looks like it's a further go than it is, but 3rd and 6? It's certainly manageable.
And I assume that the Red Devils are going to try to pass here. But with the way Garcia's been running the football, you never know. Tillett looking down the field, breaks free, and he tries to run, but he's finally taken down.
I would have liked to see that play blown dead sooner. And I know this is showing bias to the quarterback, but Tillett's wrapped up. He's not really going anywhere, but once the forward progress is stopped, you like to see the whistle blown dead, but they didn't there, and he takes a couple extra dings there, especially if you're already on your second string. You don't want to see the second string go down.
Yeah.
Number 26, Cortland Harris. Number 1, TJ.
And once again, the Red Devils have to turn the ball over. I do have to say, it still is a very winnable game. Only down by 13. Still some time left in this 3rd quarter, and that punt goes out of bounds. Let's see where they rule that.
About the 34-yard line, not too shabby. Not his best punt of the night, but he's been out there a lot, unfortunately. But done his job very well. And it's another look at our defense. And again, no offense to our defense, I am getting a little sick of seeing them.
Yeah,
I'd like to see your offense out there for a little longer at a time. But again, this is week 2. You're still working on a lot of kinks, and with freshmen and very few returning guys, you're trying to figure out how to put all these pieces together. Caden Frazier went over here and messed with his helmet. I don't know if we'll see him on the next drive, but he seems to be moving a little bit better.
Yeah, and I mean, that would be something, right? If he came back on and gave the Red Devils a lead here.
Yeah, a little Kurt Schilling action with the bloody sock. Go out there injured and win a game for your club.
Yeah. But for now, we'll see the Red Devils once again on defense. And Lynch unable to do much with that one as he's taken down.
Yeah, they read that play perfectly. Talk about formulaic. The Red Devils, we run the football on reverse. So is Greenville. Great play call from the defense, and really locked Lynch down. And it's going to set up a 2nd and 14.
And you'd like to see the Red Devils kind of retire the Panthers on this drive pretty quickly. Get the ball back as soon as possible as Lynch once again tries to run, and once again he is taken down. So
the Red Devils have to manage this intensity. It's a great thing that they're intense. It's a great thing they're throwing the football. You can't pick up a 15-yard penalty in a situation like that, and they were very close to. Whistle blows, let go of the ball, just let it play out. You'll be fine. You've got a 3rd and 16. Just do your job, and you're going to get off the field.
Yeah, exactly. And I can't even tell you how many times I've seen a football player continue to kind of be aggressive with the opposite player even after the whistle's been blown. Lynch fires, and that is tipped off of his receiver. Incomplete. Could have been picked off, but it doesn't matter. It'll be Red Devils football.
Number 88, LaShawn Williams.
Yeah, LaShawn Williams ended up turning into more of a DB on that play. He's trying to catch the football, but it works out very well because that ball's overthrown. He doesn't touch that. Hanson Johnson's probably in the end zone as we speak, which, again, I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
But very good play from the wide receiver, at least to make something positive-ish come out of what would have been a very negative situation.
There's the punt. And the Red Devils are going to let this one roll. That'll be picked up just before the 35-yard line.
Again, I like the strategy, kicking the ball a little down. Maybe the ref didn't see it, maybe neither of the refs saw it, but they did get caught in that one. This is going to be the best starting field position the Red Devils have had in quite some time. And you talk about a critical juncture. You got 3 minutes left in the third quarter. You got your 15 minutes to play in the fourth. A touchdown here is massive for your confidence going into that fourth quarter, and it gets these fans into it. These fans have had very little to cheer about in a while. You know, you can clap all you want for your defense, but having a juiced-up play where you can punch it into the end zone, it's going to get there on the feet, and it makes that home field advantage come up even more.
Yeah, and, you know, like you said, believe it or not, football, you know, it is a two-part kind of sport. You have defense and offense, and like you said, our defense has been showing up, but the offense not so much, and you hate to see the Red Devils have to try to kind of rush in 2 touchdowns in the fourth quarter. And like you said, with 3 minutes left here in this third quarter, that is enough time to, you know, at least get a touchdown, maybe even a field goal, ideally a touchdown, but we'll see how that works out here.
Yeah, it's just they keep running this halfback sweep to the left tackle, and it's just not working. Like, hopefully this is a setup for something, but if this is just your straight-up play call with your game plan is to run the ball, like, it's not working. Like, you have to try to throw the ball. You have to give it to the running back in a different kind of manner because Greenville's sniffing it out. They've got their safeties playing up almost inside the 10, and it makes it so hard to throw these short passes when the safeties are in the box like that.
Tillett throws, and he finds his receiver who keeps running. And unfortunately unable to break free, but he does get the completion, and it'll be a first down for the Red Devils.
That's exactly what we're talking about. I'm sure you heard it through our microphones. The crowd loves it, and that is massive. We hear our PA guy, Ethan Hedge, going nuts over there. Everybody in here wants to see a positive play like that. That is massive. You get across the 50, and now you're starting to creep in on that end zone, and that is exactly what we talked about. That is exactly what you want towards the end of this third quarter.
Yeah, and it all starts with one play at a time, right? And we saw, you know, last game, only 1 touchdown, but you build on that. And so far here tonight, haven't been able to do that, but now is as good of a chance as any other. As Tillett unable to complete that pass.
Another flag on the play, too. And right at the line. It's like a legal man downfield. There's another 5-yard penalty on the Red Devils.
And these penalties, they just continue to add up, right? And that's not really what you want to see. Can't even tell you about the amount of times we've seen penalties that are against our team, and it's just not a good look.
I can't remember what the exact stat is, but my dad and I always say when the Lions get called for a penalty, but it's essentially the odds to score go down by an astronomical amount when any penalty gets called, especially a pre-snap penalty like that. I think it goes down to like 15% of scoring, so we'll see if they can punch it in here.
Tillett hands it off. Moss finding some space, and he is hit out of bounds.
25, McCarty Moss on the carry for Eureka.
Hat on a hat right there.
I mean, that's football. That is
football. I don't know if doctors like that aspect of football, but that's some pretty classic football right there. And also, they get those yards back, ish, but you know it's a 3rd and 8 instead of a 3rd and 13. So this has to be 4-down territory. I think you have to go for it on 4th down.
I agree with that. Here's the snap. Tillett looking downfield. Tries to find some room, and that one is nearly picked off as the throw goes out of bounds. So it'll be 4th down. And let's see if the Red Devils offense decides to stay on the field.
I should have put a qualifier on my statement. You got to punt it if you don't get any yards on it. If it's a 4th and 8, you can't go for it. But we're talking about the predictability of this offense. Like, we're running the ball on 1st down, usually on a 2nd down, and then we're throwing every time on a 3rd. And the defense has picked up on that. We've gotten some good chunk plays on running the ball in 3rd. I'd love to see us do it like a 3rd and 8 prime time to run the ball right there. But, you know, another chance for the defense to step up.
There's the kick. And the Panthers are going to let this one roll. And that's a pretty good punt right there. That one's going to be picked up. Shy of the 20.
Laundry on the field, though.
Flag on the play.
As we'll see what that penalty is about. Refs talking it over.
Really taking their time. Receiving team holding. Look, 10 yards the wrong way for Greenville. And that is, again, Greenville hasn't had nearly as many penalized mistakes as we have. And that's not to say that it hasn't been called fairly. I think that we've had more penalties. But this is huge. You're putting Greenville inside the 10-yard line. And we talked about the student section. You're right in the quarterback's ear almost. Keep making noise.
Exactly.
You get a pick six or a scoop and score here, man. That would really put this game on its head.
Almost turn things around if that were the case. And this one's going to be ran. Able to find some room is TJ Brown as he's finally run out of bounds by the 40-yard line. That's a great carry by TJ Brown.
Yeah, it's, again, pretty much the opposite of what I wanted to happen. I can't. Well, it wasn't a touchdown, so not the full opposite, but pretty close. Again, it's a big chunk play. That's the type of play the Red Devils have wanted, and they got it on that last drive. They just weren't able to capitalize on it.
Yeah, and, you know, I feel as if every time that we say that we want something the Red Devils to do, almost the exact opposite happens, right?
I'm going to start wanting negative things, and maybe positive things will happen.
Yeah, there you go, reverse psychology.
They always say the announcer's jinx is real, and this game really feels like it.
Yeah. So it'll be Lynch back out there, who hands it off. Finding lots of space, and that is a huge gain as he's finally taken down.
Number 3, Adrian Hinton on the carry for Greenville.
That is Hinton. And back-to-back plays where the Panthers are able to gain a lot of yards on a run.
And that is the last play of the third quarter. So good starting field position for Greenville heading into the fourth. 13-0 in favor of the visitors. We'll be back after a short break. Eureka trailing, like we said, on EC 103.1.
And welcome back. You are listening to EC 103.1. So the Panthers, to start this fourth quarter, have really great field position. And obviously the Red Devils, the last thing they want to do is give up any extra points here, trying to fight their way back and come back late and win this ball game as Lynch runs near the sideline. And after a couple hits, he still is up. And finally, he's taken down.
Number 13,
Max Lynch. We've seen that run game from him quite often here tonight.
Yeah, he's been a beast, man. They put him on the read option or
any sort of rollout, and he's more than willing to duck his head and keep fighting upfield for more yards with his legs. It's a dangerous tool to have as a quarterback.
Yeah, and most teams don't they don't have the kind of honor to say that they have a running quarterback, and it looks like Lynch was a little confused on that handoff, but it doesn't matter because he finds his way into the end zone, nearly tripping
Flag on the play.
nearly tripping on his own feet, but there is a flag thrown.
Yeah, that's the first really damaging penalty we've seen from Greenville, or at least in a large spot. They've had some, but blocking the back is very detrimental when you just scored a touchdown.
And like you said, that'll cost Greenville here. And I hate to say it, but Lynch has been unbelievable so far.
Yeah, I mean, he's been killing with his legs more than anything. He hasn't gotten those deep passes. I mean, he had one guy with one catch, 88 yards last week, but this week he hasn't locked in on his deep accuracy. But unfortunately, if you keep running the ball, it's going to work.
Kind of reminds me of Justin Fields a little bit as he throws that one down.
Again, another very good open field tackle. Those have been critical for the Red Devil defense. And, I mean, if you can hold him to a field goal here, that's huge. I mean, it relies on 2 extra points, but it's not necessarily beyond a 2-score game.
Number 10, Daniel Parham on the tackle for Eureka.
And we have seen a couple of instances where the Red Devils
Second and 13.
almost picked the ball off, and that would definitely be huge here late in this game. So it'll be 2nd and 13.
Timeout.
And a timeout is called by Greenville.
Yeah, I mean, the big thing is the Red Devils have to come up with something. And, again, it's no fault of their own asking you. Obviously, you want your defense to come up with turnovers, but, if Greenville's just holding on to the football, they haven't thrown the ball a whole lot. You can't pick it off. I mean, they've had 2 opportunities to pick it off, though, to be fair. It's been a very slow game since those first 5-ish minutes.
Yeah, I mean, both games that we've seen from the Red Devils, very, very low scoring.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd call us hot starters or slow starters. It's just, I don't know if it starts sometimes on offense.
Yeah.
We'll see. Plenty of time.
Yep.
Like, there's enough time to mount a comeback, but a turnover here would go a very, very long way for some energy.
And see, for me, when it comes to sports, I'm a huge believer in, getting the crowd involved. I believe that, if the crowd is really involved and loud and they bring the energy, that they can kind of help our team. And, our crowd is pretty quiet right now. I mean, with 0 points on the board for the Red Devils, that kind of explains why, but so it'll be 2nd and 13. Lynch hands it off. This one's going to be TJ Brown finding a hole, and he's taken down. Let's see.
Very close to that first down marker, I think.
Just short.
Just short, all right. Hanson Johnson's got to come off because his hat came off again. I know he will not be super enthused to miss this play. It was enough for a first down, though, I think. At least that's what the board's showing. I don't know. Chain Gang saying 3rd down, and up here it's saying 1st.
Big play. Lynch hands it off. And that is Adrian Hinton. Makes his way into the end zone for another Panthers touchdown.
First point since, 9:45-ish in the first quarter? And that's, again, I go back to us talking to Hanson Johnson after the game last week, and usually you win games where you only give up 7 points, and if you're only giving up 14 points as a defense, like, you did your job. It's just you got to get something out of the offense. The offense has to come up with something.
Yep. Here's the snap for the extra point. And that is good. 20-0 game in favor of Greenville. So the Red Devils get the ball back with 13:10 left on the clock, as their chances of winning this game slim down.
And it's not going to be Caden Frazier taking back over at quarterback, so Braden Tollett or Kendrick Sidrell, I mean, we saw him on the first 2 plays of this half, and they apparently didn't like what they saw, so something's got to change. You got to get points somehow.
And the Panthers out on the field. Red Devils finally start to make their way out.
Yeah, they've had some long special teams discussions. Officials having a conversation with something off the field.
Number 9, Mondrell Boykins back deep for Eureka.
Looked like they needed football. One of your teammates, Matthew Miggy. Nice little pitch there.
Yeah.
Operating as the ball boy down there.
Yeah, and I've seen him operate a few soccer games too.
He does it all.
Yeah,
Man of many talents. They're going to exchange footballs. I don't know if it's like that in the college game, but in the NFL they've got 2 different kinds of footballs. They've got a K-ball, which is for kicking, hence the K. But then they've got just the regular ball, but I don't know if that exists at the college level. Didn't like what they saw with whatever ball was on the tee, though. Gave them a new one.
As the Panthers kick off. And this one's going to be taken, looking for some room. And now he's running backwards the wrong way, trying to find a hole. He breaks free. And that was a close call. That could have gone very wrong for the Red Devils.
I mean, that's the gamble you take with reversing the field, is you sacrifice a couple yards backwards, and works out for Boykin. He looks a little shaken up running up. He might just be tired. That was one of those, you run about 15 yards on the stat sheet, but in reality you ran about 45, 50.
Yeah.
And, I mean, made the most out of nothing, but again, this is, I like, genuinely broken record, and I don't know how many more other ways to say it, but, like, the Red Devils offense has to do something.
Here's the snap. Fires down the field, and the catch is made. That'll be a complete pass. Tollett able to find an open man. That was, I believe, Washington.
Number 83, Jeremiah.
It's a good ball. It's a good spiral, but again, like, you got to string together a lot of these. I mean, you're down 3 scores now. You're relying on your defense to get more stops, which they've proven they can do, but it is later on in the game, and tired legs out there for sure.
2nd and 2 from the 38-yard line.
Clock running down, 12:18 left to play. Tollett looking downfield, fires, and that one is complete. Nathaniel Vroman on the play.
Pass is complete to number 8, Nathaniel Bowman.
And the Red Devils continue to inch their way forward.
For Eureka, first down.
Yeah, it's the tough spot with getting a new quarterback in at the very end of the first half, is you got to get him back into momentum in the swing of things, and that was something you didn't have to worry about with Frazier because he already was, but again, it's taken a little while, and they're finally getting going, it seems.
Red Devils on the 44-yard line. Here's the snap. Tollett looking downfield again, fires, and this one is caught, and he keeps going, and this is going to be a Red Devils touchdown. Nathaniel Vroman.
Number 8, Nathaniel Bowman. Touchdown, Eureka.
I mean, we talked about it. We said we want to see something out of this Red Devils offense, and how about that for some juice? Nathaniel Vroman bouncing off a couple of would-be tacklers and taking it to the crib.
Number 6, Braden Tollett to Vroman for a
And again, that's the furthest ball we've seen Tollett throw all game, and did well with it. Good spiral, and Nathaniel Vroman made a lot more out of it.
Yeah, and you and me both, we've been saying that the Red Devils need to start showing some more of their passing game, and that's exactly why. I mean, you can't be afraid to shy away from showing off that arm. And the Red Devils, for the first time tonight, put some points on the board. Hoping to get the extra point.
Looking for our first on the year, in fact.
Yep.
Delay a game.
Delay of game against Eureka. Move the ball back 5 yards.
So maybe a little bit too excited there.
Man, you get all of those good vibes with the touchdown, and then immediately with a pre-snap penalty. That's just, man, that's tough.
Absolute mood killer.
Yeah. And it makes it a more difficult extra point.
And those are just free mistakes that the Red Devils shouldn't really have to experience, yet here we are. As the Red Devils look to add on an extra point, the kick is up, and it is good.
Number 49, Javian Boatman on the PAT.
So it is now a 20-7 game in favor of the Panthers with 11:29 left to play here in the fourth quarter.
That's a big touchdown. I mean, we talked about it right before that drive. You know, I said, I was like, I want to see something. Like, show us something that we've got some juice, and a big play there and a touchdown, and you're back within 2 scores. You need a defensive stop, more points, stop, more points. But it's a good sign, and I like where we're going.
The Red Devils fans starting to get into it a little bit.
And we know we've had some technical difficulties tonight, so we do apologize for that. Christian Beeman been helping us out and pointing it out, but you know, hopefully it's working. At least on our screens, everything's showing up. We're trying to man 2 different booths here, but sounds like we're doing all right.
Red Devils only down by 2 touchdowns,
John Williams back deep for Greenville.
and they get ready to kick it off. Panthers have to find a way to respond to that touchdown. The kick is up, and that is a really great kick.
Does go out of bounds, though, so it's going to start at the 35. It's a very good punt,
Yeah.
but yeah, if it goes out of bounds on the kickoff, not so good. But you talk about a good way to get on your defense's good side is scoring points. That's going to bring some energy to those tired guys out there. And again, we talked about it. A turnover would be monumental, we'll put it.
Out of bounds against Eureka. Ball will be placed at the 40-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10, Greenville.
So the Panthers will start on the 40-yard line. Red Devils going to do everything in their power to hold the Panthers to where they're at 20 points.
They're going to re-kick.
And I'm not sure what that was all about, but you are correct.
I didn't know that was an option if you kick it out of bounds. I thought it was just enforced on the next play. Unless there was... No, they are moving us back. I don't know. Huh. Shout out Greenville, though. Their fans and their sideline have been going off all game. They've been trying to bring their guys' energy, and, I mean, again, winning helps, but
Correction, 30-yard line.
they've been cheering over there the whole time, so big props.
Yeah. It's never easy for a game on the road. But they've stuck with their team all night, and reasonably so. So here we go. Another great kick. This one's going to be caught. And let's see. He runs down near the sideline. He finds some space. And this is exactly what you don't want to happen if you're the Red Devils, as he runs it all the way down for a touchdown. But there is a flag.
Multiple flags on the play.
Multiple flags on the field. And you really hope this goes in favor of the Red Devils.
Talk about some speed, though. That was right down the sideline, and that was a quick touchdown, at least for the time being. Holding on the return team, so will not stand.
So the Red Devils catch a break. And instead of a touchdown, the Panthers will have to start over.
Ball will be placed at the 25-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10, Greenville.
On the 25. Both teams ready to go back at it. There's the snap. Lynch hands it off again. And the Red Devils quickly take them down.
Ball came out there, Matthew. I don't know. It looks like they're signaling second down, but we talked about it. Turnover right there especially. Ooh, man.
So many close ones.
Yeah.
But instead, it'll be second down for the Panthers. At the 21-yard line.
Number 44, Brenton Potts on the stop for Eureka. We'll bring up second down.
Shocker, Brent Potts in on that play. He's been all over the field making plays.
Yeah, not the first time we've heard his name tonight. Here we go once again. Lynch, another handoff. And once again, the Red Devils
Number 3, Adrian Hinton,
able to limit it to something small. So it'll be third down.
Yeah, I don't want to act like I know football strategy that well, but it could be that Greenville's trying to start this clock right. So every time you run the ball right, the clock is going to keep moving. Maybe they're not as confident in their offense as they originally were, and they're just trying to burn some clock here. Runs on first and second downs a bit uncharacteristic, at least early on in this game. Now they're throwing.
Lynch looking to throw down the field. He does. This one's caught. And that'll be a first down. A flag is thrown.
Pass is complete to number 1, T.J. Brown. However, there is a flag on the play.
It's going on Greenville. That's huge. That was a first down without the penalty.
Yeah, and Greenville seems to be kind of adding more penalties as we go late into this game.
Again, they're tired legs out there. You make more mistakes when you're tired. I know I did as any form of athlete. I mean, I made a lot of mistakes in general, but like, you know, you get tired, you're committing more fouls, you miss more tackles.
Greenville is the call.
And that was, in fact, a penalty on Greenville.
So, yeah, that is very unfortunate for the Panthers, but could have been a first down. Looks now to be a 3rd and 10 at the 25.
Ball is at the 24-yard line.
Excuse me, 24-yard line.
The 3rd and 11. Get loud, support this defense.
Red Devils fans starting to get more into it.
Again, that's what a touchdown can do for you. The fans want to make noise.
Lynch looking down the field, fires to an open receiver. That was Tanner Eubanks.
We talked about it earlier in the game. It was Lynch didn't connect on those deep balls, and he did right there, unfortunately. That is a huge play for the Panthers.
Number 14, Hanson Johnson.
And Lynch proving that he can make that same play happen twice. Although this one was much greater in terms of
1st and 10, Greenville,
a gain.
37-yard line.
And more importantly, you talk about a momentum play right there. Red Devils, I think, are going to take a timeout, which you don't really want to see when you're down
Eureka.
13 with 9 minutes left. You'd like to save that and the idea of a 2-minute drive to try to tie or win the game. But, yeah, that was a huge play there from Greenville.
And, yeah, this Greenville offense has been unbelievable so far. Maybe not as good as last game, but they definitely continue to prove their talent to this Eureka team.
Yeah, I mean that's a couple of would-be wins over NACC opponents. I mean, beating Concordia Chicago and then possibly Eureka here. It's a good way to start the season, 2-0.
And the Red Devils, of course, looking for their first win of the season.
Yeah, they're going to need to put some things together offensively. And again, losing Caden Frazier through injury is tough. And I haven't checked to see if Kelvin Bird's back out there for the offensive line, but getting him back out there would be huge too. But again, it's just you got to have more confidence in yourselves, and that's just something that points is the thing that bridges that gap.
So both teams back out, ready to go. And flags thrown.
False start.
That'll be a false start.
Move the ball back 5 yards.
Greenville moving backwards by 5 yards.
First and 15 from the 42-yard line.
And like we said before, those penalties for Greenville continue to pile onto each other.
That's big. And again, we talked about the potential of a turnover. Could be big.
Unfortunately, it doesn't help when the clock keeps running down. Although right now it is stopped, but only 9 minutes, a little bit over 9 minutes left to go here in this fourth quarter. Lynch, unable to break free. He almost slipped out of that tackle. I was afraid he was going to stay up.
That would have been bad.
Number 90, Justin Doyle in the backfield for Eureka.
Yeah, Justin Doyle was the guy we talked about last week, too. He made a bunch of impact plays in the backfield and read that option play well. He read that triple option really well to the wishbone last week, too. So, they're doing what they can.
Yeah, and that's all you can ask for.
Again, you can't flaw the defense very much today. Been a couple of big plays, but in general, 14 points, pretty good.
This one's going to be ran to the side, past the 40, and finally, I believe that is T.J. Brown is taken down.
That was another play there. It goes kind of unsung, but Hanson Johnson able to keep contained, force that back into where the rest of his defenders are coming and able to stop him. But a very big gain there on second down. It makes it a third and more manageable, we'll call it, but 3rd and 9 still.
Red Devils trying to prevent a first down. Greenville ready for the snap. Here we go. Lynch looking down the field, spins, runs to the side, angling, fires to an open receiver.
Pass is complete.
He is short, but it is a 4th and 2, and I have to think that the way Greenville's played today, I think they're probably going for it.
Yeah, and we've talked about their aggressiveness all night.
Number 7, Kevion Mitchell.
And how they continue to just attack these 4th down plays.
Yeah, you talk about needing noise. You want your student section. I know Craig Jamison down there is ready to get after it. Let's hear some noise from the Red Devils.
Here's the snap. Lynch fires over the middle, but that is short and incomplete.
That is huge.
Lynch visibly upset with himself, understandably so, and the ball will be turned over to the Red Devils with 7 minutes and 11 seconds left to go. So they really have to start to tighten things up here.
Yeah, this is big. You've got to score quick for one. If you can punch this in with 4 minutes left, you give your defense a decent shot. But again, this is where those timeouts come into play. We already used one, and you only have 2 left. You need a quick score, and then you need another stop, and then you need another score before the time runs out. And you got to hit both your extra points in that time frame.
Yeah, and that'll be a little bit difficult to do in just a short amount of time. But for now, Tillett fires down the field, and he finds a man.
Braden Tillett, I was not familiar with your game. That's a 30-yard bomb down the sideline, and that is exactly what the doctor ordered for the Red Devils offense. Where was that for the whole game?
Exactly. I mean, that's exactly what I've wanted to see all game. And Tillett proving that he is very capable.
There's a reason why Braden Tillett's out there playing ball, and I'm not. and have never.
That is a great point. Snap a little high, but Tillett fires over the middle, and he finds another open receiver as the Red Devils continue to move the ball down the field. And this is exactly what...
Pass is complete to number 12.
That is a heck of a play from Braden Tillett right there. He moves up into the pocket, moves through the pocket, able to keep his feet behind the line of scrimmage, complete that pass for a big gain. And as my PE teacher used to say, we're cooking with gas right now.
Yeah, and this is exactly what the Red Devils need right here. Clock ticking down, 5:48 left to go.
We talked about wanting a quick score. This would certainly be the prescription we wanted.
Here's the snap. Tillett looking for an open receiver. Fires down the field. And this one is broken up.
That was a great defensive play there.
Pass intended for number 8, Nathaniel Roman.
Trying to get a number on it.
It was a great idea. The pass was right there. But unable to fall into the hands of the receivers.
Second 10.
Yeah, I think that was Nathaniel Vroman. He had separated on that flag route heading towards that back pylon, but yeah, really good play there. It looked like a good ball from Tillett. I don't think it was any fault of the offense. It was just a really good defensive read from the safety there.
So on 2nd and 10, the Red Devils are going to try this one again. Hands it off. And Garcia
Number 24, Angel Garcia.
able to find some room, but there is a flag down the field. It looked like Boykins was having some physical contact, some extra physical contact with one of the Panthers. And that can't happen.
Yeah, it looked like Boykins was tied up with a Greenville Panther there. But they are going to call it on the Red Devils. And on the Panthers as well. Offsetting penalties.
We have offsetting unsportsmanlike penalties.
That's huge.
Yeah, I mean, that can cost your team big.
Oh, in a spot like that, especially the Red Devils finally have some good mojo going out there and marched yourself back 15 yards. You've worked so hard for us. Okay, they started walking him back, and we heard our other guys in the PA box like, "Why was offsetting? Why are we going back 15 yards?" And they correct themselves for back up to the original spot. But it was unsportsmanlike conduct, and Matthew, if you pick up 2 of those in a game, you are disqualified. We've already seen 1 guy ejected from the Red Devils squad today, and that was just for the one-off. But again, there's severity in terms of unsportsmanlike conduct, and punches they disqualify immediately.
8-yard line.
Yeah. And the Red Devils taking over at the 8-yard line. Tillett receives a snap, fires down the field, and unfortunately unable to come up with that throw.
Pass intended for number 12.
That's Johnny Brazil, and he had that bad drop last week too, and it looked like that ball was a little behind him. He had to readjust in air, but I know wide receivers, when they hit it, when it hits them in the hands, they know they want to come down with it, and it's just not great there. But again, it stops the clock. You're not losing any extra time, and the officials are going to have a conversation. And I wonder if this has something to do with a loss of down because of the unsportsmanlike. But we'll see.
Yeah.
I'm not a ref.
Maybe Tillett out on the field. Maybe he is rushing just a little bit. Let's see what the huddle was for by the refs.
It will be 4th down.
Be 4th down.
So on 4th and 5, the Red Devils obviously are going to have to go for it, being down by 2 touchdowns.
4th down and 5 from the 8-yard line.
4th and 8. But as I was saying, with only a little bit over 5 minutes left to go, the Red Devils are going to have to go for this one.
Well, yeah, I mean, you have to.
Yeah.
You can't take a field goal in this situation.
Yeah.
If you're earlier in the game, then yeah, go for the field goal. But yeah, like you said, this is the game. You got to punch it in here or get a first down at the very minimum. They're going to have to take a timeout, too.
Timeout, Eureka.
And so that is the second timeout taken by the Red Devils in this half.
Yeah, I mean, this is obviously your play of the game. You got this is the game. You got to get this somehow, and that's where that miscommunication comes in from the officials and the coaches. Thinking that you've got a third down and a fourth down remaining is very different than thinking you've got a fourth down remaining. That play call on third down changes a lot.
Yeah.
So, 4th and 5 from the 8.
And this play right here is really just going to dictate how the rest of the game goes.
What do you think, Matthew? Do you hand it off to Angel Garcia, see if you can get you 5 yards, or do you like to throw it again?
I would definitely throw it again. I do believe in Garcia. He's shown us that he can run the football. But at the same time, to let what we've seen so far, he does have that ability to just fire that football. And, twice now we've seen him find an open receiver.
He's going to need to do it again.
Yeah. And so both teams make their way back out on the field as we get ready for what might be the biggest play of the night for the Red Devils and the Panthers. Here's the snap. Tillett looking down the field, breaks through a tackle, but doesn't matter because he's brought down by several Panthers defenders.
Quarterback sack.
That is the danger of the rollout, is, you're trying to get your quarterback some clean airspace, and unfortunately the defense had played for that, and he had 2 guys in his face. Angel Garcia did his best trying to throw a block there, but that's a sack, and the game's not over, but Red Devils are going to need some help.
Yeah. That might just about do it.
28-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10.
Yeah, you gotta hope for a turnover of some variety here, because
23-yard line.
this is 5 minutes to go. You're down 13. You got to get something quick. And Greenville's going to run the ball to keep the clock moving.
Here's the handoff down the field, and just like you said, they will be running the football as the clock continues to go down.
Yeah, and the Red Devils only have 1 timeout, so to stop the clock, it's just delaying the somewhat inevitable. You've got to get a fumble here somehow. So I don't know. You got to dial up the blitz, hopefully, and maybe they aren't actually going to throw the ball, but they could catch you sleeping in that case too.
Yeah.
And that's not necessarily sleeping, just focused on a different aspect of football.
Yeah. And we've seen the Panthers try to do that a couple times here tonight. Lynch with another handoff. This one's going to be TJ Brown finding a hole, and that is a large gain.
Number 1, TJ Brown on the rush for Greenville will be enough for a 1st down.
So they do get another 1st down as the clock just over 4 minutes. And like you said, the Red Devils with only 1 remaining timeout have to kind of be wise about how they use that.
Yeah, I think another 1st down is what ices it, but the way that they've been running the football, it's tall order for the Red Devil defense to stop.
Another handoff. This one to Hinton, and he jumps over one of the defenders.
That is unfortunate. It's not fun to get put on a mixtape that late in the game.
Yeah, and the Greenville bench going crazy down there.
It's not every day you see a hurdle. That's pretty sick.
Yeah, that is true.
And that's hard to do. I think that was Cuvion Mitchell. He's listed at 5'10". You're jumping over somebody 5'10". That's got some springs in the old cleats.
Yeah, and you can tell he really is an athlete. Clock continuing to wind down. Just under 3 minutes left to play.
And they're going to take a timeout.
Timeout, Greenville.
I think the Red Devils do have the 2-minute warning. to play with, but they're going to have to get a stop on these next 3 plays for sure. And the Panthers would be, I don't want to say silly, but you do have to punt in that situation to get to a 4th down just because the Red Devils can't stop the clock, and that is a long field to get 2 touchdowns on.
Yeah. But there has apparently been lots of instances of miscommunication from this Red Devils team. Some arguing between the players throughout the night. But, you know, you're going to have games like that, and all you can do is come back next week and, you know, just work harder, play harder, and that's what wins you ball games.
Yeah, that'll be a game you can catch on EC 103.1. I know Matthew will be traveling up to Wisconsin for Wisconsin Lutheran. First game in the conference slate for the Red Devils, NACC opener. Hopefully it'll be nice weather for you up there.
I really hope so.
2:50 left in this one, and weird things have happened in football, so Red Devils not completely out of it. Just need some help from the football gods.
Panthers snap the football. Lynch running. Takes an angle, finds some space past the 40, and he runs out of bounds. But another great run by Max Lynch. And we've talked about it before. You don't see on too many teams a quarterback that can not only go long distance, but also run the football.
Yeah, he can throw far distance, and he can run far distance as well.
Yeah.
He's a hard guy to keep contained. You can tell that the Red Devils defense is tired out there.
Flag on the play.
Laundry day. How many penalties do you think there's been out there? Rough estimate?
Way too many. Maybe a little under 15.
Oh, I think I got to go higher than that. I feel like the Red Devils had 15 today.
That is true. A lot of sloppy football.
Yeah,
but it's part of the learning experience.
I think they said we made a mistake. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I never understand why the refs, can throw a flag and then.
Sorry, guys. That's on us.
Yeah.
There wasn't anything wrong with that play.
It always makes me wonder what they were seeing out on that field, but.
Yeah, we're just going to kind of wait around, apparently.
And the clock is not running on the scoreboard.
Ref's going to yell at our guys up here in the box. Unacceptable. They're doing their best up here. I know they are. We have a 2:26 on the clock. Actually, that helps us. Scoop and score would go a long way here. Then we need some onside kicks, and
clock continues to run down. Panthers ready for the snap. They are at the 37-yard line, 1st and 10. Lynch hands it off, and not much there to gain. I believe that was Hinton.
that'll take us to the 2-minute warning as well. So it's what, 2nd down coming up? As the Red Devils can't stop the clock, I believe. Did we take our last timeout?
I don't think so yet.
Okay, so we got 1 timeout left. But
This is the 2-minute warning.
you got 1 chance to stop the clock. You can run off up to 40 seconds per play. It's 2nd down, so they can take off at least 80 seconds on this. You're looking at, 40 seconds at maximum on a very positive thing to get the ball back, and you got to put up 13 points. It's not looking good.
Pretty rough, but.
But there's definitely positives. Again, Braden Tillett, a great ball down the sideline earlier, and a very welcome sign, especially if Caden Frazier has to miss some extended time. But also just, that's a ball that Caden Frazier, I hope, can throw as well. We just haven't seen it these first couple of weeks yet. And, I know that our offensive coordinator wants to open up the playbook more as the season goes on. But when you're coaching so many freshmen, you kind of have to stick to the basics of just, all right, let's work on our blocking schemes. Let's work on running lanes and wide receiver routes. And then you can, throw in your quarterback and your deep balls and all that. But it's very much you got to do the fundamentals right, and you can tell that the fundamentals are there. I know the defense has looked great again, but offense is it's a harder thing to get into the groove of. No offense to any defenders out there, and because again, I don't really know what I'm talking about. I just try my best.
Yeah, and like you said, it all starts with the basics. And here's the handoff. Hinton again.
Number 3, Adrian Hinton on the carry for Greenville.
And no, like you said, Tillett, almost proving himself out there. I know he's already a junior, but maybe setting up some opportunity for himself for next year, or maybe games in the future for this season.
Third down.
Or just puts you in a position you don't have to rush Frazier back.
Yeah.
If his injury is something that you don't want to rush him in a week, then Tillett, I think, has done a good job out there to kind of deserve certainly a look at next week as a starter.
Clock running down, 1:18. Here's the snap. Hinton hands it off. And this is going to be another Panthers touchdown. That was Adrian Hinton, who took the handoff and ran it all the way to the end zone. And so if it wasn't obvious before, this is going to wrap things up here.
Yeah, it's just, again, our defense was out there for, it felt like, 65, 70% of the game. It's going to add up. You just keep running the ball at them. It's going to work eventually, unfortunately for us. But, you've got 1:10 to run an offense, and you can see what we've got going into next week for sure.
Yep. And the extra point is good. So Greenville leads it 27-7 here in the fourth quarter with 1:10 left to play.
Again, it may not go in the Red Devils' favor, but I feel like this was a good start at home to kind of show what this Red Devils' identity is going to be going forward. It's very much built on the defense, and that should be no surprise. I mean, you've got a guy like Randy Starks as your head coach. He's a Pro Bowler in the NFL. Deion Jordan, a highly touted prospect for the NFL as well. It's going to be built around the defense, and you can tell the defense has been awesome these first couple of weeks, but it is going to be about making sure you can get that offense going. It's a slow start so far, but you've got games coming up that are, this is kind of your fun time in a sense, right? This is non-conference. This doesn't really count for anything outside of tune-up, but conference starts, and that's when it starts to matter.
That kickoff is taken. And unfortunately, not a huge gain there. But no, you're absolutely right. And, as we keep mentioning, the incoming freshmen every year, that's gonna be new. The first season this year that the Red Devils have a new head coach, like you said, Randy Starks, and you just have to learn to build around that, and kind of just build around the community. And
I think the foundation is absolutely there. It's just there's going to be some growing pains.
Yeah. Tillett looking downfield, throws, and almost had an open receiver, but that one was dropped after a big hit.
Pass intended for number 41.
Yeah, that was a great breakup there.
The second down.
This is Lawrence Harris. He got there right in the nick of time. It's got to hit the receiver in a sense before you can touch him, and perfectly timed. Broke up the pass. Also, Bird has not returned for the Red Devils. It has been Corpus snapping it.
And yeah, those blindside hits are always something that most guys struggle with, as this one is just out of the reach of a Red Devil defender. So
number 22, Isaiah Mason.
It'll be 3rd and 10 at the 25.
3rd down and 10.
53 left to play. as the Greenville sideline embracing their lead over the Red Devils. Here we go on 3rd and 10. Tillett looking downfield, fires, finds an open receiver who breaks free from a tackle and is finally taken out of bounds.
At Johnny Brazil, he got his catch there. Looked good in doing it. Looked confident and got out of bounds to stop the clock as well. Flag, though, way behind the play. It's not a great sign.
And just when you think the game is about to end, another flag is thrown.
Or just when something positive happens, you know, it's just...
Yeah.
Defensive face mask, though, so goes on the defense at least.
So the Red Devils with some extra yards.
Ball is placed at the 37-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10, Eureka.
And with 45 left to play, the Red Devils may be trying to squeeze in another touchdown. Make the score look better when you open it up tomorrow. And check. Tillett looking downfield, fires. And that one is picked off after being deflected by several Panthers players. And he'll run it out of bounds, but that'll wrap things up here.
Yeah, Braden Wells caught it off the deflection, like you said. I think it might have a couple of Red Devils, actually, but yeah, that'll be the icing on the cake for the Greenville Panthers on this one.
And so, you know, you've seen a lot of penalties, several injuries for this Red Devils team, and you just hope that they work over this next week and come back next week and be ready to play.
Yeah, I don't think it was a lack of being ready to play. It's just the more time you get as an athlete with, you know, what you're comfortable with, right? And these guys are mostly freshmen. It's going to take some time to settle in. And I think there were certainly some positive signs today. We made an extra point today, and we didn't last week. So you're just going to have to take the small wins. Like we said, there's going to be growing pains. There's going to be some ugly losses probably this year, but if you just stick with it, it's going to work eventually. You just got to give it some time.
Yeah, and it's just the little things. So the Panthers are going to let the clock run out, and that'll wrap things up here tonight. The final 27-7 Panthers win. But for next week, we will be back on EC 103.1 as the Red Devils take on Wisconsin Lutheran at 6 p.m. But for now, thank you for joining us. Matthew Swan, Spencer Davis on EC 103.1.
Nice, guys.